Good afternoon, friends. Myself Hitesh from Anukelkas Python Academy. So today I had come from some another SQL related question which is asked by Tesla. So the problem statement is Tesla is investigating production bottleneck and they need your help to extract the relevant data. Okay. So you have to write the query and determine which part has begun the assembly process but not yet finished. So you have to identify which of the part is not yet finished. Okay, so there is some assumption is given to you. The first assumption is part assembly table contain all parts currently in production. So basically in this table they contain the data related to the those part which is in production. Okay, and unfinished part is that's a lack of finished date, because if we assume that some part is unfinished, so their date is not mentioned in this table. Okay, that means that date is null. So the question is you have to find the unfinished part. Okay, you have to find the unfinished part, and the table definition is given to you. Under the part assembly table we have the three columns: part, finish date, assembly step, and their relative types are given to you. Okay, the part field has a string type, the finish date has date time, it will store the date in date time manner, and assembly step it will store the integer type of value. Okay, so which type of data we have to insert, that is also given to you. So the battery part, their finish date is 22nd Jan 2022 at 12 o'clock, and the assembly date is 1. Okay, it's not assembly date, it's I think assembly step, it's assembly step. Okay, second part is battery, it is also finished on the very next day, and the assembly step is 2. Next part is battery, on that same day the assembly step is 3, and then next part is bumper, which is finished on 22nd Jan of 2022, that is first assembly step is 1, and the next part is bumper, it is also finished on 22nd Feb 2022, and the assembly step is 2. Okay, so this type of data we have to insert, and what output you have to assume, we have to assume while we have to dealing with the data, we want this type of output. So bumper, their assembly step is 3, which is finish date is null. Okay, and the next bumper whose assembly step is 4, their finish date is also not given to you. Okay, so here by using this command, use model database, we will get inside the database. Model database is the name of the database. Okay, so by using this command, first you have to create the database, and by using this command you will get inside the database. Now it's time to see whether which kind of table were stored in our database. So for that you have to select this command and run this one. You will get to know under the database which kind of tables are stored. Okay, so in this database basically there are the 8 to 10 tables are there. Okay, activities, customer, page like pages, parts assembly. So our interest is currently on part assembly table. Okay, which we have created. Next, uh, next we have to create the table. Create table if not exist. Why we written if not exist? if this table is already created and still we are creating this table, that will raise the error and it will say your this table is already created. Okay, that's why we had write in this command create table if not exist part assembly. Part assembly is the name of table and under which we are providing three fields as a part which is of data type is varchar. It will allow to enter the alphanumeric value. Okay, next is the finish date. It will allow us to enter the date along with time value. Next is the assembly step which is of integer type, that's why we had given int as a type. Okay, so while selecting this command, once you return this create command, you have to select this one and click here, so you will get to know your table is already created. I had already created, that's why I'm not again running this command. Now once you created the table, now it's time to insert the record. See, last video I had told you, if you had multiple value you have to insert. So instead of writing single record for each and every record, you have to write instead of single insert command. With the help of this single insert, you will allow to insert multiple values. So for that I had passing this type of value. So basically the first is battery part, first is a part which is battery, and now I have to provide the date is this one which is of string type, and I have to this string type to be converted into the date in this format: month, date and year, hours, minute and second. So this is a method string to date. Basically what is it doing, I had providing date in terms of string, and with the help of this method it will convert that string into the date in this format. Okay, first will come month, so 01 is a month which is January. Next is a date, that is 22nd, and next is year 2022. Okay, and this is R separated by colon, this is minute, again it is separated by colon, and this is second. Okay, so by using string to date method we will provide the date in a form of string, and next that with the help of this method string to date, that string is converted into date. Okay, and then this is the assembly step we had given. So with the help of this record we will trying to insert the data into the part assembly, and that last two record we are providing some of the null values. Why? Because we didn't know what is the finish date of these particular parts. Okay, for that we will provide null values. Okay, but assembly step is given to you, that is 3 and 4. Okay, so basically our goal is we have to find the unfinished part. Unfinished part means where finished date is not given to you. So our basically goal is that we have to find the unfinished part, which of the unfinished part which is not yet finished. Okay, so for that we have to write the query. Okay, so once you inserted all the record, you have to display whether we have correct inserted or not. So for that we had writing select star from part assembly. This is a table name followed by semicolon, and now you have to run this one. You will display some of the records. Out of this one, last two records of the battery and bumper parts where the finish date is not given to you, that is this is the unfinished date. Actually date is not mentioned because finish date is not yet known. Okay, so now our main problem statement is comments from here. We have to write the query to determine which of the parts have begun the assembly process but it is not yet finished. That means which of the part we have to identify which of the part is begin to assemble but which is that is in progress. Their finish date is not mentioning here. We have to find those parts. Okay, so for that we had written query select. See what we have to find their name of the parts and their assembly step, okay, which their finish date is not mentioned, that is null. Okay, so for that we had written select parts, because we want to know the name of the parts and their assembly step also. So for that we had written select parts assembly step from the table name. So name of the table is parts assembly, where finish date, we have to find those parts where finish date is not mentioning. Okay, their finish date is not mentioned yet. So for that we have written command select part assembly step from table name where finish date is null. Is a keyword which is equivalent. Null means their value, their finish date is not yet mentioned, that's why we had given null keyword. Okay, so basically it allows it comparing the blank value. Okay, and followed by semicolon. Once you selected, you have to select this command. Once you return this query, you have to select this command and run this one. You will get to know which of the parts of the assembly part assembly is not yet finished. That is the name of the part is battery and their relative assembly step is 3. Other battery part, other parts is bumper, their finish date is not mentioned yet, that is assembly step is 4. Okay, so likewise we will get to know which of the assembly process which but that are not yet finished. Okay, so if you have any query, do comment us and do subscribe our channel. Thank you.